Alright. Studs and dowels are all in.
So what is the benefit of having a valve seal?
Keeps the oil from sucking down the stem too much.
So you reduce the amount of carbon buildup in the combustion chamber?
Yeah, oil consumption.
How come the manual for my year bike doesn't call for them then? They just didn't believe in that back then?
Harley didn't have valve seal until 1982.
Oh.
I think they only painted in 1982. Could be wrong. Alright. I don't know if these have ever been checked for oil galleries to be cleaned out, so let's make sure they're clean. Just because they've been blown a million times doesn't mean they're clean. These fill up full of carbon.
Yeah, we saw how much was in the last set.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. A little bit.
Yep. Welded on, cleaned up, blown on probably 20 times at least.
Still got shit in there. Oh, that's a good amount.
It wasn't plugged, it's just on the side. But it's in there. That one's not even going in the hole, so. It should go in all the way to the bottom of the flute. So which gallery does that thing go into? Not that one. Some stuff coming out. They're hitting each other. So this one had a little bit of stuff in it. No, it doesn't. Pull this off again because you did such a good job. Which I'll like cleaning myself a bunch of times too. Alright. Always nice to make sure those are cleared. Only because I've seen those completely plucked. With about 2 inches of carbon in there. Didn't yours have like an inch in there? In yours?
Yeah.
Plugged up.
Probably never been cleaned before.
I'm sure they never were cleaned before. Just no matter how much oil they got even flowing through it is the question. Okay, so these are all clean. This stuff over here is all clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which should I be working on first? This one?
Sure.
Front head. Oop. Front of myself a little bit. Loctite always first. Lots of it. We always want some on the valve guide, on the outside of the guide, not the inside. That will help hold the seal on and also seal it. If there's any little area leak around, it will help seal it. Just make sure you don't put it in the guide. Your motor will not run on the valve sticks. You'll be lucky if it doesn't bend the valve, because it might stick and get one away the piston or the other valve. Now we can lubricate everything else. So we're back on the front end again. Which valve is this?
The intake, exhaust.
Front exhaust. Always spin it as it goes in and move up and down a few times. Make sure you spread the oil around. I don't know if that does anything, but it makes me feel better.
That's good.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
If you don't have that nice pop noise, there's probably something wrong. Do not put the seal on before the collar. Rear head. Rear exhaust. Just kind of roll it around a little bit and it'll slip right on over.
You need to press it on there?
Yep. If you didn't press it on, it wouldn't be any good. Pressing tool. Go slow, don't give it a big hit. It has to squeeze back down. This has a rolled lip right here. It has to expand. And if you hit it too hard or at an angle, it overswells it and it'll be loose. So after you put it on, you take it, you spin it like that. It's no good. This one's tight, so that one's junk.
You have to take it off.
Yep. It's tight on the outside, but not on the inside. If we cut thing deeper.
Looks like the rubber got messed up.
No, the cutter will overcut the guide if you're not careful. Try it again. Not too easy. Loose again. So we got a problem with that one. Guide screwed up. Great. So the guide's tight and then it gets down, it's too loose. So it goes down there where it sits, it's loose. Up here, where the top of the guide is, it's tight. So this guy was overcut where before we went deeper. That area is loose. Alright, well the problem is there's no fixing it. Because different valve seals have different heights and they don't clear. See, we have our clearance here for our cam. See, we got 550. We got an extra 30 or 45. This one here got about the same. Problem is the other seals are way taller. They're at least 100 thou taller. The other problem is they work too good. Now, sometimes you can cheat. Put a Sportster one on there. But that is only occasionally you can get over that crap. Problem is the hole in there is too small. The 3/8 valve in it is not made for it. Sometimes you get away with it. See how close it is? Just about a 20% chance. You see, it's not made to go anywhere near this size on either end. Tight. Now the problem is the seal, not the seal, but the steel inner ring there. It's probably rubbing on the stem at some point, someplace, a little bit. So it'll have to kind of wear itself in. Which is not the best thing you want on your valve stem, but that's the only thing you do to make it work. So we were able to cheat and make it work.
Don't tell anyone.
Now if you use the James seals that they sell you, full of them damn things. These things.
It's on the outside.
What's on the outside?
The steel ring.
It's got plastic on the inside which will hold onto the guide. See the problem?
Yeah.
Way taller. Camera seen it or not?
Yeah, the camera sees it.
So you got about 100 thou you lose a valve stem clearance. Or valve valve seal the collar clearance. So usually what happens is the collar comes down and nails that thing and just destroys it. Because nobody checks it. So unless you want a stock cam, 9 times out of 10 that seal will be destroyed. Very quickly. Make sure I put the collar on there. I've done that before. Okay, exhaust is the first one. This is the exhaust. Hopefully I don't have all these problems, but who knows. So I just found a source for these seals because I was out of them. Seal line doesn't make anything anymore. Pretty much out of business. They barely do anything anymore. I think they make front end alignment tool what I make anymore. All this internal engine repair stuff, they don't make anymore. So only that one guy was undercut a lot. Well, we made it work, luckily. Okay, now we can do some assembly. We were just screwing around. Switch hammers out. Bench off. Okay, what head are we working on now?
That's
The front one?
mm-hmm.
The front one uses front parts, right?
Yep.
Intake is the second one. Lost the first one.
How come you don't use your fancy air one?
It doesn't work with the crap on these.
Why not?
It doesn't work with the crap on these ones. These have big ass springs on them. It's made for dinky ass thin ones like Eagles use.
Oh.
It doesn't work very good on Sportsters either. Iron-Age Sportsters.
Because you use big springs.
No, because it just doesn't work right.
The angle?
That's why I use that tool for iron-heads and the flatheads. So just because you got fancy tools doesn't mean you always use them.
It's very true.
Sometimes the old original stuff still works. Well, they made this tool for their original knucklehead motors, and
Oh, that's a Harley tool?
it still works to this day. Yeah, this one actually is probably a genuine Harley one. But they make repops now. There's a Harley part number.
Oh.
I'm sure that's a genuine one, not a Taiwan Teddy.
So that's
Knockoff.
36 to 65? Is what it was for?
No.
That's just a number?
The first problem is that 36 is not to 65, it's 65 to 36.
Well, if you read it
Or-
backwards.
Well, then it'd be upside down like that. Or, more likely, the part number is 65 and the dash number is 36 is the year it fits. Because back in the old days, they didn't have a bunch of digits in their numbers. They only had a couple numbers. They didn't need that many.
So they didn't have that much stuff, huh?
Well, the tool had their own catalog, and there's only 2 digits in the tool catalog. That would be 100 tools. They probably only had like 20. So, they didn't need it.
Makes sense.
So, on there. Helps you get a speed handle on and everything. See, it fits the color like it's made for it.
Mm-hmm. The tool's probably worth a lot nowadays.
I don't know.
Well, you have it, so you don't have to worry about it.
That's right. They're for sale.
Yep. But anyone who has one of those ain't selling it.
Well, they pop up on eBay every now and then. But they've been making reproduction ones for 40 years now. So. hard to tell a good one from a bad one.
They even have the same stamping.
It's not stamped, it's casted on, but yeah, same thing. The difference is in the quality. This one never wears out. It doesn't flex. And the repop Taiwan Teddy stuff probably does.
Yeah.
I've been using this tool for 50 years, or better. Still looks good.
And before you had it, someone else used it for a long time.
His dad's tool, I haven't used it. I haven't used it for 50 years.
Wow.
He has. It's been used for 50 years.
Did he buy it now?
I don't know. Wasn't around back then. He probably bought that thing in the 50s or the mid-50s. Back when he was running a stupid knucklehead. Probably early 50s. Turned into a panhead.
Knuckle bottom and pan top.
Yep. Terrible. Blowing the knuckle cylinders off the motor. Not a good design.
Nope, but everyone wants it. They want to suck.
Yeah, so it turned into a panhead. And continued to blow it up after that.
Is there a way to keep a knucklehead from blowing up?
Don't ride it?
So if you ride it, it's just gonna grenade on you eventually.
Yeah, something's gonna fail, they always do. Modern materials help a lot. Just strength.
So like,
But the problem is who makes the parts these days and they don't care about strength.
what if you got a knuckle motor and just built it all with S&S internal stuff?
You still use standard gray cast iron parts and then didn't change anything when Harley made it.
Oh, it's just a new name. New numbers.
Don't even make them anymore.
Yeah, they do. I heard there's this one company in Germany that has all the castings for the old motors.
They made their own.
Yeah, but they turn out them. It's like exactly factory spec everything.
Yeah, S&S doesn't do that.
You can buy like a genuine knucklehead. It's just not a Harley knucklehead. Same everything.
I can still tell the difference between getting them. I have to look at. There's still clues to identify what it is. Alright, heads are assembled. What number did you want?
360.
Sometimes we gain about 20 thou, sometimes we don't gain squat. When it's really screwed up, you actually lose. So it looks like about 370. That one. That one. So about 45, so that's probably one of the tight ones. Doesn't look like a game much on that.
What's with the blue stripe on those springs?
So they identify the spring. That was about 350, 55. This one. About 55 to 60 maybe. Detail. When you're looking at the radius part of the spring, it's hard to get a good measurement. Plus my retarded eyes don't work as good as they used to. Can't hold 3 thou anymore. Get close though. I can hold 10 probably. Alright, so that's it for that.